are you comfortable with the cash that is coming in, or do you need to increase the cash flow?
I mean,
how open you are for my feedback.
Just punch me.
You need to understand your customer, but you probably can't be fit to the market if you haven't identified the problem that you're solving for your customer. Hello guys, nice to have you here. My name is Olga, and together with my partner Karsten, we have a venture together which is called Meta Startup Studio. Meta, not like the Facebook Meta, but Meta like Buddhist Meta. And basically what we do, we help people, especially lifestyle entrepreneurs, to go from 0 to 100K, the first 6 figures in their business, through the business processes and business tools. And majority of our methodologies we take from the tech startups, because we know until today, these are the most efficient ways to start and grow a business, and the fastest ways of doing so. So we are really big fans of lean startup methodology, design thinking, agile, all of this. So we basically take this and bring it to the lifestyle people. So coaches, yoga teachers, all sorts of mindfulness professionals, creatives, photographers, videographers, designers, fashion stylists. So this is kind of like what we usually do. Until we started with our own business, we also worked in Fortune 500 companies, the likes of Adidas, or like my American friends would say Adidas, and Wayfair, in different functions across marketing, sales, operations, all of this stuff. And that's basically our background, and that's what we help people with. So if you don't mind, can you do a short round of introduction? Just tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you are, what is your business. Tell us a little bit what stage you are at right now with your business, and what you are struggling the most right now, and where you require the most help at the moment. Whoever wants to start. Johanna, yeah. Ladies first.
Let's go.
For sure. I can start. So I'm Johanna. I'm a graphic designer who recently went full-time freelance after having been kind of part-time agency life, part-time freelance, part-time personal projects, as it goes. So now I'm full-time freelance and kind of looking to hopefully within the next year grow this into more of see myself more as a business, grow into a design studio. And I think what I'm struggling with a lot at the moment is I have 100 million ideas, but time management and knowing where to put that focus is where I really struggle. I get distracted so easily. I jump on the next idea before I even start the previous idea. And at the end of the day, I'm like, what did I do? And it's just I need to structure myself and need to kind of start believing in certain ideas a bit more to sort of push myself forward. I think that's the main goal, to kind of really get the next step.
So really streamline right now.
Exactly.
Your business understands, okay, this is my focus for now. This is what I want to go for. And then kind of go from there.
Exactly. Because if I allow myself to dream, I'm I become a photographer, I become a book publisher, I become a visual artist, I become a painter, I become and I need to kind of just go, no, this is what I'm offering right now. Let's see where that takes me in a year and how far I can grow that in a year. And then if you want to expand, you can expand, But just finding that exactly streamline and focus is kind of a struggle.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing this. Guys, who wants to go first?
Yep, I can go ahead. My name is Leandro. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm a maker. I'm a woodworker. I make wooden surfboards. I believe that's an ecological way to make less impact in the environment. So I spent the last 3 years prototyping my boards, and today I achieved my result that it's a very light surfboard using natural resource. It's 95% less toxic than a normal conventional surfboard. And yes, I'm struggling at the moment between production, between do everything I need. I work with my hands, my 2 hands. If I don't put my hands in the wood, in the work, don't have anything. But at the same time, I need to create content. I need to buy material. I need to research. I need to improve my skills. At the moment, my goal when I launched 6 months ago was to do 4 boards per month. I'm doing average 1 board per month less since I came up with the company. And yes, I think it's a little intro.
So what do you need the most support with right now? What would you want to?
I want ideas to develop better the business, like content. What should I do with content? I think I have some steps, some paradigms which I need to break, like the weight of the boards that show the people, create awareness to the people, to show them that it's also one possibility, to use wood as a material in the surfboard. I think create awareness the most what I need now, and show up to the people. I need that the people know that I'm here, I'm producing surfboards, wooden surfboards, and it can be one solution for less impacting the environment.
And also, like I saw on your website that you also do workshops, right? Where you teach people how to do it by themselves as well.
Yes, I do. I have 3 fronts. One, it's just the boards. I sell the boards for some shops. I will sell the boards for some shops. The second one, it's the workshops where I teach the people to do. I believe you create one very close. You're going to know all the process, we create, people going to know about woodworking, people going to know more about surfboards, put everything together, art, everything. And also the other front, it's fine furniture. I create also custom furniture. But what I want to do the most is the surfboards.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So
thank you too.
That leaves you, Marco.
That leaves me. Yes, my name is Marco. I'm from Germany. And I have started 5 years ago publishing books. It was like as a side hustle next to working full time. I joined some courses and I started learning about it because it was for me a passive income stream. And I was just curious because I was always a kind of an entrepreneur mindset. I wanted to have something by myself. My father had his own company, my grandfather, and so on. So I was just okay, what can I do? What excites me? And it was the start of publishing 35 books until today. But it was I learned so much along the way, all the courses about Facebook advertising, about marketing itself. And I never learned that. It was for me okay, I didn't know that I have to learn all of this stuff as well to be a successful entrepreneur and to make this running. And it was so much that at some point after 5 years, I was it's not working, it's not making money, but I have all this knowledge that I learned over the years about marketing and Facebook. And it's so niche to only offers that I decided 6 months ago to just try it out and do a Facebook advertising agency only for offers, who self-publish, who have literally no time than just writing, or just mainly they work full-time, they have children, they have families, and it's just how can I support these people? How can I give value to them with my knowledge? And I didn't know that I will kind of peek into a wasp nest, and it would just immediately find interests. And it was now I'm at 4 clients already from the UK and the US, and now it's time for me a struggle thing now with how do I structure everything. Also at the moment everything's word of mouth, so I have a partner and we are networking and she's sending me clients over. But it's okay, how can I make this sustainable? What kind of venues can I use to attract more clients? Because I think I have something that might actually be of interest for a lot of people. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So I'm kind of listening to you, and I'm assessing you across 4 different things today. And the first one is your niche. How good and clear is the niche? Then whether you have a compelling offer to actually offer it to your customers. Then I'm looking at the marketing piece, so kind of actually pushing the offer. And then I'm looking at the sales, so more the converting people from prospects into actual buying customers. And I think we'll start with Johanna because...
No clear path whatsoever.
because when I look at these 4 components...
Nope. No.
Like, it's kind of like if I look at the percentage, like everywhere the percentage is like 0, right? So we start there because I think it's the very beginning, right? And then we'll just progress naturally. So, Johanna, what's like, have you tried until now to narrow down your niche or narrow down your offer? Because you said you have a lot of like different ideas, you kind of like all over the place, this and that. So what have you tried to kind of like streamline it already?
Right. So the idea at the moment that I'm trying to kind of put my focus on is brand design and website design and build. So I'm a Webflow developer and designer, and then I've got quite a bit of experience working for branding agencies. So those combined, I think, would make a quite nice package for smaller startups that need kind of like a brand refresh or just kind of starting out and need a new brand, and then a website to a company that as kind of hopefully an upsell though, or whichever way they kind of come to me. So that's like the idea. Right now I have a few clients that aren't really that. Like it's more kind of like production design work rather than like projects. So it's ongoing clients, which is nice because it's obviously regular income stream, but it's also not kind of tapping into where I want it to become, you know? So I guess like I'm not sure financially they're great, but like are they future great? Like they're good now, but are they kind of...
But what's the issue? Why do you believe
as in like, are they putting things in my portfolio that I can show to the next project I want to do, because they're not actually a full branding project or a full website project. They're more like an ongoing, do a little bit of this and a little bit of that kind of project.
So it's more not satisfying for you, but the clients want this. Okay, so one follow-up question. These clients that you have right now, like who are paying and who are stable, where did they come from and how did they find out about you?
They've all kind of fallen into my lap.
That's
And
nice.
they all came at a very good time. So mainly word of mouth. One is someone that I worked with a while back in a different agency that is now starting his own company. Another one saw the work I did for that person and decided to contact me. And some have just kind of found me.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't done much active outreach.
Okay. So if you look at your network right now, right, like given your past experiences with the agencies and everything, who's in your network right now? Like who are the people that you have direct access to?
I guess like not so much clients from the agency, for example, more just people I've worked with or worked alongside. Because I've never really been client facing when I've been in these agencies. So yeah, it's more like co-workers that I would have access to.
And it's like, because you said that you want to work with founders or like the small startups, do you have direct access to them right now? How many of them do you have in your network?
I would say right now, not many. Like more just from me trying to put myself out there since the past kind of couple of months, going to more and more events and joining podcasts and that kind of things. But not from kind of previous, no.
Okay, so and before I tell you more, like one more follow-up question is kind of for me to understand. So right now in your business, are you comfortable with the cash that is coming in, or do you need to increase the cash flow?
I mean, I'm like presently good, but I don't think it's like a good position growth-wise. I think I'm living happily on my own, but it's not growing as a business. And if I want to take a few weeks off, I would struggle. Or if there was a couple of months of slow work, I would start struggling at the end of those months.
So basically, the primary goal right now is to increase the cash flow and stabilize it, and then already develop into something else.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, the time I'm working a lot at the moment, and the time versus kind of the income, and it's just not really matching just yet, I don't think. There's a lot of work for, you know, a decent salary for me, but not giving me the kind of freedom to grow it as well.
Okay, so basically, like how I see it, right now, you need to focus on what you have and increase that. Like I would always recommend this before we jump onto something that we don't have and try to establish it. First, we need to look at what is working already. And basically what is working, you have your network of people with whom you worked in the agency, and these are actually your first clients right now. So if you try to now jump this and kind of like leave this behind and try to focus on the like small startups, it will take some time until you actually like develop the authority and expertise and grow your network in that area. So from my perspective, you need to focus on what is working, and you need to like kind of like look at your network and bring more of these people like which are similar to your clients right now into the business until the cash flow is enough for you to start working on developing something else, which is like a very different customer as well. Right? So, and generally like right now, like you said, it's mostly referrals. So somebody like reached out to you and then somebody saw this, it's like it's word of mouth, right? So at your stage right now, you need to really like create a repeatable sales process for yourself, because it's cool, it's referral, it's not reliable, because today somebody recommended you, somebody saw, but like you don't have a system behind. So you need to focus on creating a system, right? So like really analyzing this first person who started working with you, how did they get to you? What like, how did they actually get to you? Like where did they see that you are doing something like on freelance right now?
Oh, is that a question?
Yes.
No, so we worked in an agency, one of the first agency jobs I had, and I was kind of doing part-time that agency, part-time freelancing, and I think he was working in a more CTO role, but we worked quite closely at the time. And then I think he just eventually reached out and was like, are you still doing a similar setup? Like, can I be part of your client roster? And yeah, it just kind of came at a very good, convenient timing for me as well. Which is why I keep saying, like, it just all kind of is falling together at the moment.
So basically, like what I'm hearing from you, even your network right now doesn't know that you're doing freelancing. So basically, like disregard all the other ideas. Like it doesn't mean that you never get to doing them, but it's just not the right time at the moment, right? So at the moment, you need to let your network know that what you do right now, you are freelancing and you're doing this, and this type of work, right? And you are open for collaboration with them.
Right, yeah.
Right? Because like otherwise, if people don't know, how they can ever come to you as customers, right? And something else like that I generally want everybody to know is that our first clients, like doesn't matter whether we want it or we don't want it, they always come from our network.
Yeah.
Always. That's why like it's generally very stupid to try to pick a niche which is completely disconnected with what you were doing before, with the set of expertise and skills you have, and with the network you have established already. Because if you go somewhere else, you don't have the authority there. Versus in your previous realm, you have a lot of authority. People know that you are skilled at that. And they have the base trust. Even if you don't have a proper website, even if they haven't seen like any advertising, even if you don't have testimonials from the previous clients or anything or any use cases, people will trust you just because they worked with you and they know you, right? That's why your first clients always come from your network. Like it's normal. It's just a period of time until you developed enough and known enough that people outside of your network start reaching out, right?
Yeah.
So your first step is to reach out to your network. And it's like basically like generally whenever we're choosing or like picking a niche for our business, there is a great book. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's called The Unfair Advantage.
Heard of it.
It's like it's startup and basically startup book, and basically it talks about the miles framework where we have advantages versus other people, competitive advantages, right? Like, and miles, like M stands for money, so it can be that's like, I don't know, I have just a lot of money to just experiment, right? So I would have an advantage versus someone who doesn't have this pile of money, right? Or I have a longer runway to experiment with my business. So money is always an advantage, right? So I stands for insight or intelligence. So insight is like what kind of like industry or network do you have an insight into, right? Like if I worked for over a decade in corporate, right, on a certain level, this is my network, like all the people in like Fortune 500 companies, right? So I have insight in this level of management and working in big corporations, right? Or like, I don't know, like we are based close to Lisbon here, which is a tech capital, right? So we have insight into how tech startups work, which like somebody who lives in a small village in Germany would not have this insight, right? But they might have insight on like, oh, you know, like in my village, there is nothing happening for teenage kids, you know, like, and I can create courses for them. So that would be always the insight that we have, which is an unfair advantage versus someone who doesn't have access to the same experience, right? So L stands for location. So location can be like your big advantage, right? Versus like somebody else. E stands for education and S for status, right? So education can be also like all the different skills. Like Marco, for you, for example, you were talking, right, about acquiring or like doing all these courses and this and this and that, right? This is also your unfair advantage versus someone who never studied all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So always look at your unfair advantages versus others, and that's where you can establish your authority. So your first step, reaching out, whatever you have, whatever means of communication you have right now, it's your LinkedIn, I guess.
Yeah.
Your WhatsApp, where you have the numbers of people, their emails. You need to reach out and tell them, hey, this is what I do now. Do you know anyone who would be interested in doing this? Right? So, and it's like, if there's another thing that you need to do in a way, like when you have people who are coming to you, so you have now a couple of clients, right? But you need to see whether there are more people like them. You can reach out asking people to jump on an interview with you. So that's what we usually really recommend, and that's what majority of tech startups would do as the customer research phase before building an offer, which would be your next stage after you niche down, right? To build an offer, you need to really understand your target customer, like, and not understand like, oh, I'm just like an agency, you know, like, oh, just create this persona from our head, but like actually talking to actual humans, right? So somebody who is like the profile, and you can take your current customers, right? Like, so this is the profile of person who might be interested in working with me. Can I get them on the phone or on Zoom for 15 minutes to ask them questions? Hey, you know, like in this space, what do you struggle with the most, right? Like what you wish was there in terms of support, in terms of service, in terms of like additional resource, what would that be? Like in which format, for how long, how much money would you be willing to invest in it? So you need to ask people these questions. And once they give you input, you can build an offer based on what they told you. And on top of this, this is your marketing, how you will start positioning yourself and talking about your services by using their language that they told you in the interviews. You're listening attentively, and you're not describing what you do in the way how you would describe it, but you describe how they told you, how they describe their problem, how they describe the wished for a solution for them. Right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So these are your next steps. Letting know your network. This is what I do. And then getting more of these people as the first step on the interviews to understand what is it actually that they need or might need, right? And whether you can offer them exactly that.
Right. And then to kind of, if I get to a stage where I kind of want to move out of that network, and
you do exactly the same process.
Right.
You go to the small startups. Actually, you have the luxury of like being here close to Lisbon, where there are a lot of startups. You need to see where these people exist in groups, right? It's like kind of like we call it with Carsten, like don't pick individual apples, shake an apple tree, right? So where do they exist in groups? And go there and ask them for the same process. Ask them to jump on the interview with you and interview. And we usually say like you need at least 30, much better, 100 people to talk to. And I know it gets boring at certain period of time, right? Because like it gets repetitive. But what you start seeing is that like as you talk to many people, that they start falling into different buckets. It's not like there is only one customer that exists that could benefit from what you do, but there are different clusters of customers who could benefit. And you can either create offers for all of them and services for all of them, or you can just pick one.
Right, yeah.
Right? That is like, that really has money to pay like for what you're offering, that is maybe working or wants to work in the format which seems more exciting for you. And then you just focus on them. but then your marketing becomes only for these people and you don't care about everybody else. Right?
Okay.
But like for you to create an offer now for the small startups, you will need to jump on the interviews. And that's why I asked you, do you have the luxury to actually go through this process right now? You know, like to get in touch, to get these people like on, to interview them, to combine this, like to analyze the data and come up with the perfect offer? Or you need to stabilize your cash flow first? And it seems like you need to stabilize your cash flow first. So work on that.
Okay, right. So that's the first step, to just kind of like do that and then go into the kind of growing part. Got it.
Step by step.
Yeah.
Right?
Step by step.
You can have it all, but just not simultaneously.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think maybe we go with Leandro next.
Let's do it.
Because like when I see, okay, like you have a quite clear niche, right? So you have the surfboards, which are created from wood, right? Like much more sustainable, way less toxic, right? So it's kind of like, it's a niche within this industry. Great, right? So like I would say 70% you're there. Like in terms of offer and what you're offering, like I would say probably you're 30% ready if I look across like creating the surfboards, but also doing the workshops. Right, and then we have the issue with the marketing piece, and then we have the issue with the sales piece, right? So, in terms of your niche first, do you, because you said like you wanted to or want to work with the shops, like to distribute to different shops, like to sell your surfboards. Are you working with someone already right now?
No, just by myself.
Just by yourself. Have you like done the outreach to those shops to understand like what would they need and what quantities? Like, are they even interested in it? Have you done this?
I asked some of them. They are interested for sure. But I didn't reach the level which I'm able to produce the boards to bring to the shops yet. At the moment, I focus more in the workshops, which are going good. But first, I need cash flow to do this as a next step to produce them. I cannot visit them without having the possibility to make more boards.
Okay, so like how open you are for my feedback, like, and also on the scale from 0 to 10,
100%.
How straightforward do you want to have it?
Just
like,
punch me.
Right? Because like you're kind of like fooling yourself right now, because I think like if you would sign now a couple of deals where people would want your surfboards in quantities, you would find the way to produce them. You would find the people to support you. You would find like the way to organize the production. But you need first the confirmation that people do actually want it and they committed to buy from you. So for you, it's actually a matter of distribution channel right now, to find the distribution channels, because the only thing that you have right now is selling it by yourself without having the proper marketing. Actually, for your specific business, it feels like finding a distributor, like, or finding like the shops to work with, like, so opening up a distribution channel would be much easier than trying to do it by yourself right now. So you need someone who will do the marketing for you. You just provide the product. You know what I mean? So like for the part where you produce the surfboards, because otherwise it's like it becomes a really the treadmill of creating content, of pushing, of like going somewhere. It's much easier to find people who will do all the marketing piece for you, but you just provide the product. And I'm sure that if you like would make a deal now with a big distributor who would say like, I don't know, like I need 200 of them per month, you would find a way to organize this. There would be a way, right? But you need the pre-sale part first. Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing. But the second, the workshops. You know, this it's what I like the most, to pass the acknowledgement for the people. You know, to make to give this option for the people, you know, because I think if you are a surfer, you need to do your surfboard, you know. And this, I believe a lot. I know, I understand what you mean about the shops, but I believe more in the work. In my business, I believe more in the workshop. I will be happier doing the workshop than just to making the surfboards.
So you will be happier making less money.
I know a guy which do per month 25 workshops.
How much money does it bring?
it's 500 euros per person.
So like we just need to look at the numbers, right? Because like the workshops is the workshops, 25 workshops, how much money it actually brings. And you need to look at your numbers and do the calculation. But if you sell to a distributor, you know, like how much money would that bring, right? So don't also like mix this. It's kind of like one thing is the money stream and the stability in the business, where it's like a very clear distribution like channel which is developed versus what you actually want to do and what brings you more joy, right? And that's okay. Like if the workshops is something that's like really lights you up, right? That's no problem. The only thing, again, same as for Johanna, you need to look at the niche and whom are you selling to. So right now, like if people come in for the workshops, who is your customer? Do you know? Can you describe me?
At the like you told her, it's friends of friends. People which I'm surfing together and they ask about my board, they convert in clients. It's been like this. I did a little bit advertising on Instagram. It came 2 clients from this. Yes, it slowly came from everywhere now.
So what's the profile of the person? Are they Portuguese? Are they international, like expats? Expats.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Like it actually feels like, so somebody who would be spending money on crafting their own surfboard would be the expats who live here. So probably like people from Ericeira, but also Lisbon, right? Because it's a massive international community. So once again, where do these people exist in groups? That's where you need to promote yourself, right? And on top of that, you really need to interview them. So the same process is as for Johanna, right? So if it is B2C, you're selling directly to the customer, you need to interview them and understand for your marketing, right? Or for finding the partners who will support you with promoting your workshops, what's the most important for them? Is it because it's custom made? Is it because it is sustainable? Like, or is it something else? What do they care about? Right? But you can't assume. You really need to ask people so they tell you, like, why would they want to do something like this? You know, what would be the desire? What would they not buy just an existing board from a surf shop, but would want to come to a workshop to craft their own? Like, what's the reason, right? And you need to, again, to listen to their language, understand what is their priority, why they're interested in that, and based on this, find the partners, right? If it is sustainability angle, what are other businesses that have the angle of sustainability that you can partner up with, you know, like, and do cross promotion because they already have the audience. So you don't need to gather your own audience, but this audience already exists where somebody else is an authority. Can you tap in this authority and just sell to their audience?
Okay.
Right. So this would be important. So again, like, it's actually not much different. Like, it doesn't matter that it's a service-based business, product-based business, right? But you need to understand your customer. And I think like, this is where majority of businesses go wrong because they miss this step. And the step is the customer problem fit, right? Because like everybody, especially like in the tech startup world, everybody's like talking about product market fit, right? So like, oh, is my product really fit to the market? But your product can't be fit to the market if like you haven't identified the problem that you're solving for your customer. If you're not solving the real actual problem for them, they're not buying, right? And that's where the majority of like issues lie. Because like, yes, you can create a service, a product, which is exciting for you, right? But if you like haven't confirmed that people would be actually interested in it, for whom are you creating the product? You know, like it makes no sense.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So you really need to know your customer, understand what's important for them, and based on that, choose the partners for yourself where you can promote, you know, because like, yes, you can try to grow your Instagram, very difficult at the moment. So you need to like pump out like 3 reels per day in order to grow organically, or you need to like spend money on advertising, which is also stupid in the beginning because it's like throwing money to the wind, like, whoo, you know, like let it fly, because you haven't identified like what's the actual problem, how the customer talks about it, what do they actually want. So your marketing is not clear. So even if you invest in ads right now, it most probably will not bring you the result that you're looking to have.
Okay.
You know, so like you really need to go from the customer research, understanding who might be the partner, and tap into their networks and their customers before you start growing your own at the moment. So that's how it feels for me. You just need to find really good partners who would be very aligned with you on the business values right? And market through them,
Okay, thank you.
right? And it's kind of like also the dual understanding. So you need to understand the customer, but you need to understand the partners as well. Because why would they want to partner up with you? What's in it for them, right? And can you offer something for them that they would be looking for?
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
But it's much easier to sell something to them as an idea of partnership if you do really understand their customers too, right? Because like it's easier to sell because you know their customers as well.
Nice. Cool.
Okay. That
Uh-oh.
leaves you, Marco.
Oh no.
Oh no!
All right, I'm ready.
So tell me a bit more, because like you were talking about opening up your agency, right? So
Yes.
like having a partner through whom right now the customers are coming in. So it's kind of
Yes.
like by referral as well. So tell me a bit more. So like what are you trying to create in the business? Because like it seems like it's a side hustle for you right
the
now. So
moment,
it's like
yes.
a side project and you would want to grow it, right?
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
what would be required in order for you to feel like, okay, it's stable enough or it's good enough for me to live from it?
I would need monthly. So like how it works, I do have different offers. So like the first offer is with what I started is a monthly reoccurring service. Like I do the ads for them, and we work on it. I tell them, like it takes 60 to 90 days to actually see results. It's a lot of testing, a lot of creatives, and this is like for the client that has the money. So like this, like we talk about a person here, full-time job, has children, no time, but a good paying job. At the moment, they're coming from London or they come from the US. And so I'm helping them to like leverage their time. And then, so this is like kind of the mid-budget person for me, the mid-budget offer. And then I just launched and just created a kind of like how you say, pro setup session where I will meet with the low-budget client who doesn't have so much money yet, but wants to set up his ads so that they're promising for him. I will do one-on-one with them for 2 hours, set everything up, and give them the tools to run it by themselves at the lower rate than than doing it month by month. Yeah, so that's kind of the offers, and yeah, try to like look for the budgets because I know there's a need, but I know that the budget might be not there, so people are scared. Yeah.
Okay. So once again, the interviews always work, right? Because like you can always ask people and talk to more the type of the customer that you want to have, asking them, okay, what's the main issue? In which formats do you want to have the solution, right? Because for you, it's like you kind of know the problem, you kind of know what they want to have, right? But you're not sure about the format so much, and you're not sure about the budget which is available to them. So you need to interview people to really understand what are these different buckets of clients you have and for whom is the offer, right? And then market it accordingly. So that's one thing. But like in order to stabilize the business, how many customers do you need per month in order to feel like, okay, I can live from this full time?
Like I think 10. So at the moment I'm at 4. And like the last 3 clients came actually this month, so like last month and last 3 to 4 weeks. And so like I see it's absolutely happening to have 10 clients, and then I live good from that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, but the point is that, these have to be like, they can't have to pay every month, so they have to stay.
Okay. So when looking at this 4 clients, where did they come from?
3 for referral from like a client that I work with. So then she has affiliates links, so she helps me out. And the other one actually from a friend at a party here in Ericeira. Like she's also a coach and she has American clients. Yeah.
So also a coach. What kind of coach?
Financial coach.
Financial coach. So look what is interesting. So right now your current clients came from partnerships with other coaches, correct?
Yeah, coaches. Yes, exactly.
Right. So in order for you to increase the flow of clients, you probably need more of these partners. So even before we talk about like, I don't know, again, marketing, promotion, everything, something that works at the moment, this is already the source of clients coming in. So you need to find where are there more people like this and what is required for you to create these partnerships, right? Because like even before you start market yourself, you can leverage this like traction channel for yourself, which is, you know.
good. Yeah.
So where would you find these people? How would you go about it?
So like what I was thinking about is at the end of June, there's a conference in London for self-publishing authors. I've been there already 2 years ago as an author myself, like not in the perspective I am right now, like in a position. And I know that there were some people running around that had also an agency for this. And I think I will definitely go there, have some business cards ready and just like start talking with people and like see. And I think this is exactly the audience of like authors who just start out, authors, they just do it for fun. They don't want to make money from that. From authors who are like, they're like top 10 on Amazon, right? So like all over the world. So just I would meet everybody there and then, chat with them. So that's like the start. And yeah.
And the coaches that you work with, so I think like conference is a great idea. So always, again, like guys, like where these people gather in groups, like super important, right? Like just like, so we take them like by quantity, not just like one by one. This is great. And if you can find more coaches, like even like, I'm sure that's like, I don't know, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever that is, there are coaches who help people to write books, right? So like, can you collaborate with them? So then they refer their clients to you because you are not competing with them.
No.
Not at all. But your service is really complementary to what they do. So actually they are providing a better service to their clients by having this like as a possibility, like as an additional service they can offer. They take the cut, fine. You know, like part with some money, but it's a very stable and easy way of getting the clients in. So now the next question for me is, okay, like if you do this, still like looking at these 4 clients that you have right now this month, how many people had you to talk? Jesus, my English. Like, did you have to talk to in order to sign this 4? How many people before that? So I'm just like, basically I'm trying to look at the like net sales formula, right? To looking at like how many like leads dropped in, how many of them did you convert? Right. Then like usually like the other component is what's the average price, which makes our net sales. Right. But I'm trying to look at your conversion. So as an element.
That's a good question. So basically I never like really tracked it, but we were talking before, it's like I reached out to different Facebook groups that had like people in there and also to like the authors that I made friends with over the last 5 years. And I was just like, I don't know, I just created an email, kind of like a cold email because I also like my normal job is in sales. So just like create a kind of email for them and I just like ask, hey, like how do you need help maybe? And I think like it's like my gut tells me like 15 to 20 that I reached out. I was writing with on Messenger and talking to them, maybe also at a discovery call with them because I do offer this also on my website. We just like chat about their goals and maybe it's aligned, maybe it's not. And then, but we are smarter after that.
Okay. So guys, I don't know, like if you see this, I clearly see this. So there is a problem of the gut feel of, I think I talked to 15 to 20 people. I don't know how many of them actually went on the sales calls, but somehow magically I got 4 out of it.
Yay.
Right. So this is the first issue, right? Like know your numbers and be able to analyze your data because otherwise you can't reverse engineer, like the amount of clients that you need to have. Because like if you need to have 10, like there is a big difference between, I don't know, needing to talk to 20 people to convert 10 or talking to 50 people to be able to convert 10. Because if you don't know what your conversion rate is, you can't calculate how many people actually need to come on the sales calls in order to be converted in these 10 clients that you need per month. You see where I'm coming from?
Yes.
In order to get like, I don't know, 50 people on the sales calls, how many you have to reach out to, and how many times in order to get the 50 on the sales calls. So like if you post in Facebook groups, how many times per month do you need to post? So a certain amount of people sees it, a certain amount of people gets interested, and a certain amount of people actually jumps on the sales calls who then can be potentially converted in the clients you have. So you need to look at your data. Like if you don't know your numbers and you don't understand from which sources and how many clients are coming and at which rate you're converting them, like you can never stabilize your business because like then you're just working on the gut feel. Like it's going to bite you in the ass down the line. We've been there ourselves with Karsten, and I think this was one of the biggest mistakes we did, not looking at business as a system, but just like hoping that clients are coming by referral, because that's how our business started as well. And like clients were coming until at some point they were not. And having a family with 2 kids and having months, several in a row, which are close to zero when you have to pay bills, that becomes scary as fuck, right? So don't do this to yourself. Business is a system. So you really need to calculate and project how much money you actually can make and how many clients do you need for that. And what are all the steps before that bring the clients in, because like at some point, okay, like if you develop now the traction channel, which is like partnerships with other coaches, right, who drive people to you, this is great. At some point, you probably will start doing your own marketing, right? And for example, like if we're looking at Instagram, like from your followers, 10% would be watching your stories, for example, like if you post something on stories. Out of that 10%, the maximum you can convert is probably 10%. So this allows you to calculate backwards how many followers do you need to have, how many of them need to see your stories, by how many times, so you actually can convert 10% of them to get this 10 clients per month, right? So like you really need to do your calculations. And that's why like we always offer people like a very simple Excel sheet, like a very simple tool that like Karsten has created, where you can actually calculate this backwards. And I know a lot of people don't want to do this in the beginning because the thought process is some way different. It's like, oh, how I'm getting my next client, or getting like a bit here, a bit there. But if you don't reverse engineer, like you're not getting these people in, and you can't plan it. So it's like it's your basic business plan, basically. Like it's nothing complicated, but just really reverse engineering all the steps which are required to take in order to get the exact amount of people that you want to serve per month to have the income that you want.
Perfect.
Okay, actually, like I think we'll put underneath this episode a link where you can download this 100K simulator, so you can calculate in order to make 100K per year, like what is required. So how many people like needs to come into your funnel as leads, how many of them do you need to convert, and at what price point.
Cool.
Okay, so this is it, I think, from me today. So maybe let's do like a quick round. Like, what were your main takeaways from today's conversation? So Johanna, maybe let's start with you, since you were the first one.
Yeah, I think deep down I knew this, but just focus. Like, don't get carried away, and just work with what I have right now, rather than work with what I might have in a year from now. I think it was just a really great reminder that I need kind of on a daily basis, probably.
And I think like it's really great realization, and also it requires a certain level of honesty for ourselves, like in regards to what is our like point A right now, because like yes, we dream of this point B where we're going, but if we're not like very honest about the point A and where the money is actually coming from, and what is actually available right now for us to make this money, and we try to already walk to point B without like very honestly seeing where we are at right now, it usually doesn't work. But like just become very delusional about what is working and what is not.
Yeah, and it actually kind of dropped a little bit when you were talking to him, and I was like kind of reflecting on it. And it's this thing of like, I shouldn't just be making up what I want to do. Like, that's lovely, but I should actually just look at what people want from me, rather than trying to create like, maybe down the line I can create my dream role for myself, but it's not going to happen until, I've got all this foundation work done first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like it's also very normal, because like generally, like even from the way how our human brain developed, right? Like our brain is a survival brain. So it's by default, we'll be always looking at all the things that we don't have yet. That's where our brain goes first. It's always like this. So you will always be looking at like what you haven't done yet, what is not there yet, what is not in place yet. But you need to be very conscious about it, and first always start with what is there already, with the skills you have, with the networks you have, with the things that you can do already, with what is working already. Can I make it bigger before focusing on everything that is not there yet and trying to fix or bring it in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Because obviously you don't know what's out there, but I know what I've been doing in the past.
Exactly.
So Yeah, that makes sense.
So like leverage this, build up on that, and then step by step start developing the new kind of like offer for the new type of customer, right? But step by step.
Yeah. Cool. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Leandro, what was your main takeaway?
A lot. I think look for potential partners, like as soon as possible.
Yes.
Like shops or hotel, like surf schools, any kind of related business to my business. Listen my potential clients as well. Do this research. I think this is very important. Haven't done yet. Now I have a few, many people which came from social media, ask me about price, products, etc. We talked before. I've been done more with foreign people, expats, but I have more questions from Portuguese people. Try to understand this a little bit as well, how this can work. I also want to work with local people. Yes, and study more my data, like you told for Marco. I think this is very important, so I didn't stop to look for this yet. I think I need to stop to be a little bit less of my time in the shop and more using my head and trying to take some actions.
So this is like usually the issue of this very beginner stage of business, and it's normal. And you will notice like it will be actually the hardest period like in your business building, because you are doing both the pre-sale part and post-sale part. So there is the pre-sale piece, which is like marketing and sales until actually the customer converts into a paying customer, and then there is the deliverables which come afterwards, right? And it's the hardest period actually when you're working the pre-sale and post-sale simultaneously. Like if it is possible, like something that I would also recommend, because like if you look at the tech startups, like when they are accepted in the business incubators or accelerators, they're never accepted without the team. So if you can find the partner who can be like a co-founder together with you, so you can split. One person is really focused on getting out there, getting the partners, talking to different people, like understanding the customer, doing marketing, doing sales. And the other partner on the back of it, actually creating the product that would already make your life much easier. Cool. So if you can get a partner in the business with whom you can split and who is complementary, that might be the best solution.
Yes, from now calling for a partner. All right. Thank you.
So, and Marco, for you, what was the key takeaway?
Well, I cannot wait for the Excel sheet that you guys will put below the link. So it's like exactly what I need right now. Absolutely talk with the clients that I already have, talk with the people that maybe I already was on the sales call, maybe again, what was missing, where's the missing link. And like you said, at the moment, it's just like, I'm fortunate I have this partner. There's these two partners that, something's happening. But it's not sustainable. Like you said, reverse engineer, see how many numbers have to be in the top of the funnel to like go down to actually make it 10 people a month happen. So yeah, super grateful. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Was a pleasure to have you.
Too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're done.
Woo!